Have you ever wondered what it's like to live in Spain with its year-round sun, miles of white sandy beaches, and lower cost of living, all while residing full-time in one of its many ultra-modern resorts, enjoying all the facilities they have on offer? Thousands of expats come to Spain every year in their quest for a better quality of life. In this video, we will see what it's really like to live in a Spanish urbanization. And as always, please consider a like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. Spain's urbanizations are massive residential complexes that are pretty much self-sufficient, with supermarkets, pharmacies, cafes, bars and restaurants for ultimate convenience living. Join me as I spend a week in El Raso, a huge urbanization in Guardamar del Segura. El Raso is a fascinating place, an urbanization that today is booming again, with beautiful new apartment complexes and years of construction ahead. The future is looking bright. However, El Raso shares a dark history with many other urbanizations across Spain, having been hit very hard by the housing crisis of 2008, the remnants of which can still be seen today, with abandoned buildings, acres of undeveloped land, decaying road infrastructure, and promenades leading to nowhere. We will explore this side of the complex more later, but first, let me show you what living in modern-day El Raso looks like. I spent my week in the Oasis Beach 12 complex, one of the many new resorts built in El Raso after more than a decade of stagnation. This is a 3-bed ground floor apartment with parking right outside the front door and a reserved parking spot underground if needed. Coming in from the terrace, we have a spacious open plan living, dining and kitchen area. A minimal and modern space. This is the master bedroom with wardrobes and ensuite to the left and has direct access to the terrace as well. A really nice size, and I really like the design and layout in here. The other two rooms are quite standard in terms of layout, both with built-in wardrobes. One is a double bedroom, which also leads out to the terrace and pool area, and the other is a twin room. My week's stay in this apartment was great, and I could easily see myself spending a few months a year or longer in these beautiful surroundings. In fact, many of the people I met during the stay were foreign expats living here long term, or staying half the year in El Raso and half the year back home. I know I could, but let me know in the comments below if you could see yourself living here long term in Spain and in an apartment complex like this. Just off the terrace, there is a huge expanse of artificial grass with palm trees and a large fenced off pool area with sunbathing deck. They even have mini golf and 2 pool courts to keep you active. For those fitness fanatics among you, there's also a gym and sauna room in the basement of this complex and all the other Oasis Beach complexes as well. This had to be booked, so I didn't manage to access it during my stay. One thing I absolutely loved and got used to was a swim after my run in the mornings. It would easily become part of my daily routine if this was my everyday living situation. The whole complex is gated for security and peace of mind and is very well maintained. You would pay a monthly or yearly service charge or condo fee for this upkeep, which would also cover your insurance and bins, etc. But it seems like it would be worth the cost because the place was spotless and there were employees cleaning the common spaces every day I stayed here. For families, there is also a small playground to keep the little ones entertained. It was early morning when I filmed this, and I loved the quiet atmosphere with the sound of water in the background. A place I could really get used to, I have to admit. Before checking out the rest of El Raso, here is a quick example of what an upper floor apartment looks like. Enjoy. Let's walk up to the top of the urbanization and see what's on offer to the residents of El Raso. To the left of the El Raso entrance sign, there is an Indian restaurant which we tried during our stay and it was fantastic. A small supermarket, beside that a bar which was quite lively at night while we were there, and finally a steakhouse. Now across the road from this, what we have is a real estate office, and beside that a pharmacy, which was a good size and had everything you could need from a health and wellness perspective. Beside the pharmacy there was a 24-hour vending machine station which truly had a mix of everything. With the morning air it was hard to see what was inside, but they had the usual vending machine options like chocolate, sweets, chewing gum, water and soft drinks. However, some of the more random offerings were a good choice of condoms and lubes, ensuring El Raso residents can get their groove on, no matter what time of the night. Awesome. Behind the pharmacy, there is another restaurant to the right of an Irish bar and an inner courtyard, which provides an ATM, a hot stone steak restaurant, and a nice outside area for a drink or coffee in the Irish bar, while you watch the world go by. Around to the left side of the Irish bar there is a small shop to grab your cigarettes, and beside that a cocktail bar called The Lounge, where you can get some live music and a happy hour every weekend. The food and drink options available in El Raso, I have to admit, is really good, and I was pleasantly surprised. Back across the main roundabout, behind the steakhouse, there is an upmarket bar and restaurant called The Med. I probably had the best pork ribs I ever tasted in this establishment. Fall off the bone stuff. So I would highly recommend a visit to try them if you're ever in the Guardamar area. Along with this, there was fantastic and friendly service inside as well. Definitely a must stop, even if only for a drink in their nice side terrace. Below the Med Bistro, there is another nice option for food or drink, simply named El Bar. Surely you get a good drink here. Beside El Bar is where we can still see some of the carnage that the housing crisis brought to El Raso. We have empty offices and eateries, and an Irish bar with a huge terrace that closed during this time and never reopened. My family had a house here for years, and this was one of our favourite spots, so it's sad to see it never got a second chance, like some of the other places here. As we stroll to the end of the urbanization, we start to see the beautiful lemon tree groves which enclose El Raso on all sides. And just over halfway down we can see the line between the older houses pre-2008 and new villas which have only been built in the last 2 to 4 years, and which has helped start El Raso's revival. This is the 2023 view, and this is the same view in 2012. Much better now, I think, in my opinion. Again, this is a 2012 view, and here we are now in 2023. El Raso is a place that people want to live in again. So much so, a new commercial centre has been built at the end of El Raso as well, to cater for all the new residents and holidaymakers coming here. This new development currently has a bar and cafe restaurant, along with residential apartments that take in stunning views over the Salt Lakes and shoreline in the distance. Now, let's check out abandoned El Raso. Right beside and behind the Oasis Centre is a huge unfinished promenade, built back in 2002, that leads to nowhere and has nothing alongside it. It feels a world apart from the luxury resorts only a few steps away. One side of the promenade leads to a dead end at the tree in the distance. The other end leads to a massive 4-lane unused roundabout. The promenade even has light posts, bins and planters for palm trees set into the ground, but was never completed or used. The huge roundabout is something you'd see in a city, but it's literally in the middle of nowhere. You can see this with this drone shot from above. Off the roundabout, there's multiple roads that also lead to nowhere. There is still miles of forgotten roads here in El Raso, which gives you an eerie, forlorn feeling, and a stark reminder of its past struggles. Along with the abandoned roads, there's also abandoned buildings from construction companies that folded literally overnight. El Raso is just one of many remarkable urbanizations that, with its rebirth, may finally see the project that started back in the year 2000 finally be completed in a few short years to come. So, after my week exploring, I had to ask myself, could I live in an urbanization in Spain? Swimming in the ultra-modern pools, walking to the beaches nearby to enjoy the sand and the sea, soaking in its cafe culture, and tasting all the food and drink options available to me. Yes, I think I could. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you on my next wander.